This is the story that keeps on going. And I'm going to try to run this down quickly. Listen, if you don't know what's going on, watch my last video I did about the Rory and Mal podcast getting ethered. This is a quick rundown. So I made a post about Damaris hating on Kendrick more than she was seeming like she was championing the clips. In that, somebody said, yeah, she even talked about she hated on his voice. Damaris actually commented and said she never said that. They pulled up the receipts, ethered her for the rest of the day. She deleted her Twitter. Rory jumps on, tries to defend her, which I get it. Then a bunch of anti-black hair, anti-black women tweets start coming out. And then he goes into a chat room of Spaces, which was the dumbest thing he could have done. And then he goes in there on some sarcastic energy, so they ether him for the whole day. He deletes his Twitter. Now, Akademiks, Akadiddy, who's been a long time op of Rory, came out and did probably the dumbest thing, the most Akadiddy thing ever. Let me just tell you something, Akadiddy. Having pictures of a child at a park without them knowing is not the flex you think it is. Let's just get right into this.
YouTube.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is truth. This is not.
Get
This is all truth.
Filtered chick smooth.
Hey, chick
My boy ain't learned from losing his Twitch yet.
smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Insane.
Oh, nah.
Insanity.
This is downright evil, you guys. Somebody is going to get hurt behind this. Now, I'm sure over the last couple of days, you guys have been seeing a lot of old resurfaced tweets from Rory, and it's pretty bad. A lot of those tweets were aimed at black women. I saw a couple tweets that were aimed at Beyonce and Blue. Even today, people are still finding a lot of old Rory tweets. Now, Rory actually apologized for it. Today on the brand new podcast episode, Rory addressed it and
He addressed it pretty badly, I would say. I think he might have addressed it well, but Maul did not help him. So that apology was bad. That was a bad apology video. If you were going to do an apology video, Rory, you should have done it by yourself. But now let me speak on this whole resurfacing old tweets thing. I've never been a fan of people resurfacing old tweets and then using that to demonize somebody in the present, right? We do have to acknowledge that our sensibilities of people have changed over time, drastically, right? But a lot of people use that as an excuse, but that is a true thing, and here's what I'm going to say about that. Now, Rory, the thing that bothered me the most about Rory's tweets was it didn't just seem like edgy humor. It felt like there was a pattern in which, now you really believe this. Because there was a time when the internet was a lot more edgelord. It's the same thing with the Tyler, the Creator stuff where, and I know this might sound a little bit crazy, but the reason why I'm not as shocked, because whenever it comes to white people, I grew up with a lot of white people. When it comes to white people, there is a base racism that I expect. And the only reason is because of my actual experience, it usually comes out right. So I'm not really shocked. But is Rory a racist? I don't know. I feel like that's a little irrelevant to that conversation. I don't think he is. I think he has deep-seated issues that he even needs to deal with. He's in an all-black fraternity, you know. So shout out to Justin Hunt, because he said something that I fully agree with. He said it's not about the tweets when the stuff come out. It's more about how you handle it, right? Because there's so many people who have bad tweets, so many things that it's whatever. But one thing I'm going to say, Akademiks is worse than Rory. We're not going to use this moment now just to try to purify you from your sins. And we see it with this. Do you know why? I'll give you exactly why. Rory has a bunch of tweets and said a bunch of dumb stuff on social media, right? Anti-black woman stuff. I'll take that every day over the anti-black woman stuff Akademiks does in real life. The beefing with the Treasure Wilsons, we already know that. So don't act like you any better. No, you are, and honestly, it's worse for you because you black. You just soft shoeing. You are no better. In fact, you're worse. You know one thing Rory has never done? Been in public berating his women. You know what he's never done? Checked his woman up against the wall, put his hands on a woman in public. You know what he's never done? Lost his platform for talking disgusting to a little boy. So we're not going to use this as your time to come in and, oh, look at me. No, you're worse than Rory. Let me just put that out there. Rory can be redeemed. Akademiks can't. Because there's a difference between, like I said, tweets and actions. We've seen you on video doing stuff.
Realized he was wrong. Here's what he said.
You want to seem like a martyr for the culture. I'll take this one on the chin.
Already, even the way Maul is talking about this is not the energy. And I feel like Rory should have been smart and been like, this is exactly why they killed me in the spaces, because Maul laughing, like, and Maul is not your black cosign, right? Nobody's gonna listen to Maul because he cosigns. Oh, he good. He good. No, nobody cares about Maul's word like that. And so we just look at him like Samuel Jackson from Django. You feel me? So,
fellas, don't worry about it.
This is not one that I want to take on the chin whatsoever. But yes, I did go into Twitter Spaces. I don't think my intentions came off the correct way, because I was in there to get my talking to.
Why?
But when I woke up this morning,
Maul, shut up and let him talk, bro. If I was Rory, I would have been like, bro, ISO. This is the wrong time to have anybody else speaking, especially Maul.
and listen back to some of it, I sounded very, very dismissive in the beginning.
As you should have been.
No, because there were some people in there. Because
Rory fighting. That's why I said Rory's like. Now, is Rory redeemable to me? When I say Rory is redeemable, I mean, okay, there are some people who are going to be redeemed that are just down the third. I'm only going like, he's not, Akademiks is worse.
I was on the side of like, everybody knows, the people that know me know who I am and know what it is.
Which is why you shouldn't be talking about it.
But there were people in there that don't know me and were actually searching for an actual response or reply.
For
and
nothing,
I was,
man.
I'm not saying,
we got to
let me
stop
finish.
saying that.
Can I finish, please?
They weren't searching.
Rory having to literally get interrupted in his apology. This is why this didn't work. Maul killed this entire thing. Because even as you're trying to apologize, he's almost negating everything you're saying.
For shit. They were searching for attention. They were searching to go back and forth with you so they can clip it and put it on their YouTube channels. That's all they were searching for.
I think
Nobody was searching for answers. Nobody was hurt. Nobody's children didn't eat last night as a result of tweets that you tweeted, fake tweets 12 years ago. So it's not that serious.
I agree with you that there was definitely people in there with just that intent.
And I will say, niggas do make fake tweets. That's why in my first video I was like, bro, I don't know. I'm just wait till I see. But like I said, to me, it's not necessarily about the tweets. It's about the pattern of behavior.
But there were some.
But my number one thing in this video is let's not now act like Akademiks is some savior or he's not just as, like, nigga, you're anti-black and anti-woman too, nigga. Aren't you Mr. Tough on Thoughts movie? Yeah. So, like, you're you're worse than him. Because on top of that, you're a traitor. Like, Rory.
People that were generally just looking for an answer.
Rory,
and I apologize for being dismissive to those people in particular that were just looking,
as Maul is dismissive,
for an answer to what some of those tweets and fake retweets and all that was. So I do apologize, because I did come off dismissive to some people that did not deserve that were just saw something out of context and was like, yo, what's up with this? And I was a little condescending and dismissive in the beginning. About 20, 30 minutes in, I started to realize, oh shit, all right, we're not doing the joke shit anymore. And at that point, everyone...
Rory, it's the fact that it took you 20 or 30 minutes to know that you weren't joking about something like this. I also think this comes from being around like Maul too much, where he's trying to be a troll and think Rory's always kind of been like that, but it's like, bro, this is the reason why people get mad at white people when they do this shit, because it feels like y'all don't care. It feels like the fact that you thought it was a time to be joking for 20 or 30 minutes for what you were in there for is why this shit is awful.
Someone was texting me, get the fuck out of the spaces. And I felt like it was too late then. I got to just stay here, because if I run, it's even worse. But I handled that spaces very poorly. I will say that. You are correct about the spaces shit.
Okay.
I'm saying, me personally, after I listened to the space, I felt bad of how I handled being dismissive in the beginning. That's all. So I want to apologize for that.
Why were you?
I don't want to hear Maul.
Don't understand about return fake retweet, but at a time on Twitter, people would type out retweet someone's @ to make it look like they said something when you were battling back and forth on Twitter.
I was there.
So when that was popped up, yes, I was laughing about it, and I was dismissive, and then, you know, people have every right to feel away with or without context. Like, I'm not here to argue that. I'm just here to say I handled the spaces poorly. That's all.
I guess it's just like
he didn't really apologize for the tweets. He apologized for the spaces. Yeah, nigga, this is why you had to delete your Twitter. Because he still had Twitter when he did this. This was awful apology. This was awful. And then he was like, can you prove these tweets are fake? Can you do that? Like...
Again, I'm gonna just keep going to the age difference.
Looking at my white face in this space for so long, having opinions, and then seeing those tweets and being like, yo, what the fuck? I can see the outrage with it. I'm not here saying like, yo, what's wrong? Like, why are y'all so mad? I'm not here to say that. But I mean, the one they're the most outraged about was not in the context that they're making it seem. But with that said, I understand why everyone's outraged. Yesterday, I just was in a different mind state and I was being a fucking dick. Because I thought it was laughable for somebody to call me a raging racist. But this morning,
I did too.
But this morning, with a different lens and a good night's sleep, yeah, I sounded like a fucking asshole.
You sound like a raging racist, bro. That's what you wanted to say, but you Euro stepped up.
So, I apologize.
Because like I said, and like Justin said, it's not even necessarily about those tweets, right? Because I'm not one of those people who sees bad tweets and then deems you as that. It's about the pattern of the tweets, of the behavior, like of your Twitter, of your whole Twitter, not just those two. So it's like, bro, you had so many. Somebody said there's like 100. Like you had too many for it to be like. And then there is something about being the only white guy in a black fraternity. I know that there's some more of them. Justin taught me they're noops. That's the word. I learned that. Shout out to Justin Hunt. There's something that feels like there's something deeper that you have, even that you have a black child with a black woman, and the things that you were saying is like, I feel like there's something deeper that you probably might not even understand, but there's something deeper there, bro.
I apologize to all the victims and was hurt. I'm just saying.
That you negatively talked about their music is going to come out the woodworks. We see this every single time media personalities is under fire. People like Charlemagne, Joe Budden, Akademiks was the most recent one. That's just how it goes. This morning, DJ Vlad said, yo, Rory spent years talking shit about me, trying to push the I'm white but I'm not like Vlad narrative. He was right. Now everyone sees that Rory has always been racist towards black women. I'm nothing like him.
Dang, nigga, when you are in the spot where you got Vlad to be able to dunk on you, oh my God. I have said though, and it's been documented on his page. I said when it comes to the awful whites in hip hop space, Vlad to me is trying to work himself out where where I go, well, at least he's not Adam 22. That's what it is.
This is just par for the course. All your ops are going to come out the woodworks to paint you in the most negative light ever. And sometimes somebody takes it a little too far. This morning, DJ Akademiks woke up and saw Rory under fire, and he started rubbing his hands like Birdman. Akademiks told Rory, hey, bruh, I ain't forget you, punk. Let me spin the block one more time. I'm sure you guys know the history between DJ Akademiks and Rory. If you guys don't, just go check out my past videos. I'm not going to rehash it. Akademiks went on to make a very interesting tweet that people feel like was out of bounds and he crossed the line. He said 4 years ago, Rory, you came to my house trying to be cute like you were some mob boss. I've been on your head ever since. For my protection, of course. Thought you got a 10 mil podcast deal. I don't know why you still in the hood. There's mad black women out there. Don't you hate them? Now, Akademiks could have easily left.
And that's why I go like, Akademiks, bro. Don't act like we forgot that you, like, bro. Don't you hate, really? You've never been, okay.
It right there. He got his point across to Rory, but no. He goes on to attach pictures of Rory and his daughter. That's correct, you guys. These are pictures.
I hope shit. Okay.
That somebody took, basically stalking Rory and his daughter anywhere they go. From being at the park to walking on the streets, Akademiks posted these pictures online to let Rory know, I'm always...
And I'm not going to show the pictures, and I'm glad chicks didn't either.
...watching you. Now, out of respect, I'm not going to post these pictures. If you got a daughter or if you got a son, you know how innocent kids are. If you got a beef with Rory...
That's what I said, man. Akadiddy, you are a weirdo. I know you thought this was your moment. And this is another thing where I go like, there's something about his cultural unawareness that is just like, you thought this was gonna land good. This is what happens when niggas forget. Like, you thought Akademiks just disappeared? You thought that? You thought we forgot why you lost your Twitch? This is why I'm on your head top all the time. So on top of losing your Twitch, you got children, a little girl secretly videotaped or pictures, and you thought that was a flex? You about to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Because now I'm on your head. Like, because what's crazier? Rory putting out some anti-black tweets, or either videotaping or having pictures of a child at a park, when this person has already lost a platform for doing weird stuff and then has already been openly doing stuff with weird conversations with little boys. Really? That's what you thought? L. Somehow, you gave Rory his first W in this situation. Somehow. Akademiks is that person that where you're like, you go to a fight, and he's like, let's go. You're like, nah, you stay home, bro. Stay home, nigga. You gonna just get us all. Like I said, man, it is what it is. Those tweets was crazy. Do I think Rory's a full-blown racist? I don't know. Do I think that stuff was racist? Absolutely. Whether he's a full-blown racist or not, he's got some things he's got to deal with, I think. I think he really does. But I'm not going to be the person who just every time bad tweets of somebody comes up, I go, kill them. It's more like what you were saying, how you were saying it. And honestly, if Diddy, I mean, you said Akademiks. If Rory would have just came out in that space and been like, I'm bugging. That was dumb. Anybody who's offended at that is that. It would have landed better. There's going to be people who hated him regardless. But like, anybody who's real with themselves knows that they've seen stuff like that in those bad tweets. I just think the pattern's crazy. And yeah, y'all should have just left my post alone. I'm going to keep it real. So